Yeah, welcome back to the continuation of today's lecture. The next item is preposition. The next minor part of speech is preposition. Recall that we have discussed pronouns as part of minor prepositions. Recall that we said minor prepositions are four pronoun or minor part of speech as four pronoun, preposition, conjunctions, and the determinants. And we have discussed pronouns and classification of pronouns, also some functions of pronouns. We stated that whichever functions the nouns performs, the pronouns perform it. If the noun function as the subject of the verb, the pronoun function as the subject of the verb. Object of the verb, pronoun function and object of the verb. Subject of preposition, object of preposition, among others. All the functions performed by pronouns, by nouns, are also performed by pronouns. Now we are into another class of another classification of minor part of speech, which is prepositions. What are prepositions? The word preposition means to replace, to place before, to place before. Therefore, prepositions are words placed before nouns, noun phrases, or pronouns. So, the main functions of prepositions are to place before nouns, before noun phrases, and before pronouns. You need to know what noun phrases are: a group of words that occupy the positions of a noun, function as a noun, that is noun phrases. And also pronouns, we have discussed what pronouns are. So words that are placed before nouns, noun phrases, pronouns to show the direction of the noun, to show the direction of the noun, particularly the direction of the noun. Like in the following example, the book is on the table. The book is on the table. On is a preposition preceding or placing before the noun phrase the table. The table. And anytime you see a preposition, the next item you will see after the preposition is either a noun phrase or a pronoun. Take note of that. Otherwise, without nouns, without noun phrases or pronouns, there might not be a preposition. Preposition might not exist. Just like without noun, there might not be existence of pronouns because pronouns are used to replace nouns. Also, without nouns, there might not be anything adjective or determinants talking about. So nouns becomes very, very important tools in discussing some of the part of speech, especially also preposition. So whenever you see a preposition, the next is a noun. In this first sentence, the book is on the table. On is a preposition telling us the particular place in which the book is, which is on the table, not under the table. Here we also see together with, and the next one is his students. Together with, the next one is his student, which is also another noun phrase. The class teacher, together with his students, was arrested. Here we are now using double prepositions. Here we use single one, here we use double one. But the most important thing we're talking about is whenever a preposition is used, whether you're using single or whether you're using double together, or whether you're using prepositions, another part of speech and preposition, the next that will be followed is noun, noun phrase or pronoun. So this one, there is also another noun phrase, students. In the third example, the soldiers are supported by means of heavy weapons. Heavy weapons are also what noun phrases. After what prepositions. Take note of that. classification of prepositions. We have simple prepositions, we have double prepositions, and we have complex prepositions. So there are three types of preposition that we can classify preposition into. The simple prepositions are most prepositions which consist of one word are regarded as simple preposition. So they contain one word. Take note of the one word. For instance, for one word, at, in, out, behind, into. All of these are one words. One words. Different from the double preposition that contain two words, two different prepositions in one. So example, we have the vehicle is across the road. See preposition placed before the noun phrase. Three members quarreled during the meeting. Preposition placed before what? The noun phrase. He took the decision upon himself. Preposition placed before a pronoun. Double prepositions. Here they are a combination of two simple prepositions. Example, as to. So two simple prepositions as two words that are made up of preposition are used together to function as preposition and placed before nouns. So we can also see two prepositions also performing the same role of simple preposition, placing before noun, showing the direction of the noun. As to, up to, from within, out of, along with, aside from, away from, together with. So learn how to use them in sentence constructions. Out of, preposition, 5 students, following what? Noun phrases, 5 students. Preposition placed before noun phrases. The shop was full outside from the counter. Outside from, double preposition, that's simple, two simple preposition functioning as one preposition and placing before the noun phrase. The class teacher, together with his students, together with, placed before noun phrase. Just take note of that. And the next one is complex preposition. Here, according to Obulogu 1990, page 101, complex prepositions are a combination of simple preposition alongside with other part of speech. So the major difference between double preposition and complex preposition is that in double preposition, we are talking about two simple prepositions, no any other word class. But in complex preposition, we are talking about one or two simple prepositions, one or two simple prepositions together with another part of speech. This one is an adverb means. So preposition, adverb, preposition, forming and performing the same role of a preposition. In comparison with preposition, noun, preposition, noun, preposition, performing the same functions of the preposition in front of preposition, adjective, preposition, adjective, preposition, performing the same functions of preposition. And because of adverb, preposition, performing the same functions, among others. Consider the following examples. On top of that, preposition, noun, preposition, performing the same preposition, placed before a pronoun, on top of the incident, noun phrase, on top of John, placed before noun, on top of Uche, before noun, on top of that, the that is replacing Uche, on top of that, or replacing the noun phrase on top of the building. Third, the preposition is placed before the pronoun that. In this other one, because of strike, is placed before the noun. So the most important thing is whether you are using simple preposition, double preposition, or complex preposition. It must be placed before noun, noun phrases, or what? The pronoun. Conjunction. The next one is conjunctions. And what are conjunctions? Conjunctions are words used to join words, phrases, clauses, or sentences together. Take note, words we use to join what? Other words, phrases, clauses, or sentences together. There is need for you to know the difference between a word, a phrase, a clause, and a sentence. In our next class, we shall discuss sentence, or in our subsequent classes, we need to discuss sentences, clauses, and phrases. We begin to come up with an assumption that all combination of phrases, 2 or 3 phrases, will use it to form clauses. 2 or 3 clauses, we'll use it, 1 or 2 or 3 clauses, we'll use it to form a sentence. We'll give you the tips, the difference between the 3. But what we are discussing today, we are discussing words, and we are discussing the part of speech under word, individual words, being classified differently based on their functions. Now, conjunction will join words of equal rank, phrases of equal rank, clauses of equal rank, or sentences of equal rank together. The most important thing is the equal rank. Look at it here. Look at the second definition here. Equal rank. If it's joining the words must be equal. If it is joining a phrase, the phrase or the phrases are equal. Clauses are equal, and sentences are equal. Now look at the second statement we made here. Note that even though conjunctions are connectives, not all connectives are conjunctions. Now what it means is, what are connectives? Connectives joins 2 or more different ideas in 2 paragraphs or sentences and not in one. So you need to know the difference between a connective and a conjunction. When we use that element to join, even though to join 2 sentences, 2 different sentences, if I said, I was about to go to school, 1 sentence, full stop, but I decided not to go. 2nd sentence, full stop. The word but become connectives. It is no longer functioning as a conjunction because we are looking onto 2 different sentences written separately. Conjunction will join whatever elements, whether a word, phrases, or clauses, or sentences of equal rank together in the same sentences. So we could join 2 sentences, 2 simple sentences together in 1 sentence, 2 clauses together in 1 sentence, 2 phrases together in 1 sentence, 2 words together in 1 sentence. Why connective will join it differently? Remember, we always talk about functional shift, a situation where a particular word may function as this and as the other in different environment. Now, the word but that I said I use as connective, I can use it as conjunction. If it is in 1 sentence, I will soon be going to school, but I want to wait a little while. In the same sentence, but becomes a conjunction. Take note of that. Okay, consider the following examples of conjunction. I will soon be in school, okay? This one is for connective. Therefore, you can start coming. However, for a word to be a conjunction, it must be capable of joining 2 or more words, 2 or more phrases, or two or more clauses of equal rank and strength together, especially of similar value in the same sentence. Take note of that. I already explained that. And look at the example. James and John are here. And joining two words, joining James, John, equal rank. James, John, and is joining them in one sentence. The lion or the tiger, the phrase, this is a phrase, the lion, the tiger, another phrase. This conjunction is joining the phrase, this phrase, and this other phrase in one sentence. The lion or the tiger is responsible. Joining two of them in the same subject position, just as Anne has joined James and John in the same subject position. And the next sentence is Adam has submitted the offense. Okay, Adam has committed the offense before he was arrested. Now, this is also another conjunction before because it's joining two clauses together. The first clause is Adam has committed the offense, and the second clause is he was arrested. What is a clause? In our next lecture also, we shall discuss clause. But the major difference between a clause and a phrase is that a clause contains a finite verb. It has a subject and it has a verb. But a phrase may or may not contain. So a phrase does not contain subject and verb together, while a clause must contain subject and verb together, just like a sentence. Even though one clause may depend on the other, but whether it is independent clause or dependent clause, there must be the existence of a subject and also a verb. Even though the subject will be implied, there must be an existence of a verb. So in the first clause, we have Adam, which is the subject, has committed, which is the verb or the verb phrase. And so it is a clause. And the second one, he was arrested. Look at the subject and look at the verb phrase. So in this situation, we have two clauses joined by a conjunction. Time is coming, you should know the difference between this conjunction before and or. Types of conjunctions. There are three types of conjunction. The first one is coordinating conjunctions. The second one is subordinating conjunctions. And the third one is correlative conjunctions. In what followed, we shall discuss each of them one after the other. Coordinating conjunctions. These are conjunctions that are capable of joining words, phrases, or clauses of equal rank together. Whenever a coordinating conjunction is used in an event, the first element must be chronologically equal with the event in the second element. So, coordinating conjunction, once you use them, the two elements are of equal rank. That is number one. And its existence in the two elements will make one not to be dependent on the other. No one will depend on the other. The first element will stand on its own. The second element will stand on its own. So there are majorly three coordinating conjunctions in English. And, but, or. You need to know where we use and, where in sentence we can use but, and is addition, but is negation, negation, and or is alternative. You need to know. But our concern here is how they are used as a conjunction and also as coordinating. By coordinating is one standing on its own, the other one is standing on its own. No one is controlling the other. So this conjunction, when we use them either in a word, to join words, to join phrases, or to join clauses together, no one of them or the items will be controlling the other. Two of them are of equal rank. Like other types of conjunction, coordinating conjunction are used to expand the sentence so that it can accommodate more than one idea. The essence is just expansion. Once a condition is used, we are accommodating more than one idea. That is just simple truth. Example of coordinating conjunctions are Pelu and Chuku work hard yesterday. Just like what we gave earlier, joining two subjects together. The boy is weak, but he is brilliant. This bet here is joining two main clauses together, and the second clause is not depending on the first. Once we use it, the boy is weak, he is brilliant. The boy is weak, is brilliant. This bet here does not in any way force the second clause to depend on, but in subordinating conjunction, if we say the boy is weak before he falls down, the boy is weak before he falls down, the conjunction before has conditioned the second clause he falls down to work under the main clause. But coordinating conjunction does not affect the second clause to depend on the first clause. The next one is you can go for Christmas break or stay in school. The first clause is you can go for Christmas break. The second clause is you can stay in school. Remember this and it. Just you stay and remove, you can go. So, or although giving an alternative is joining two clauses together. Then subordinating conjunction. These are conjunctions that join the main or principal clause and subordinating or dependent clause together. We emphasized it earlier that once we use this set of conjunctions, if, when, whereas, before, as, do, do, etc., among many of these, that the conjunction, although it will join two elements, especially two clauses together, but it will force one of the clauses, especially the second clause, especially the clause that it is placed before, to be subordinate to the other clause, making it to be subordinate to it. Whenever they are used, complex sentences are formed. So once we find them turning two clauses together, and you want to in the same sentence, that sentence mostly is known as complex sentence. Subordinating conjunctions, examples. I shall visit you if you want me to come. I shall visit you, that is the first clause. You want me to come, that is the second clause. Remember I said the clause must contain what? A subject and a verb. I, subject, shall visit, verb. See, you is the object. You, in the second clause, subject, want, verb, me, to come, object, propositional phrase, or the case may be. But here, you want me to come, you want me to come, you want me to come is one clause. I shall visit you is another clause. If you remove this element, this one can stand alone, this other one can stand alone on its own, just like the coordinating conjunction. But with the conjunction known as subordinating conjunction, it has, although it joined these two clauses together, it has forced this second clause that it places before, or that is following it to function as subordinating clause and depending on the main clause. That is why it is called subordinating conjunction, because it will always force the second clause to be subordinate to the first one. Look at the second sentence. The lecturer goes to school whenever the VC is around. The first one is the first clause, the lecturer goes to school. Look at the subject goes, the verb. The VC is around, the subject, the VC, verb is. But whenever has joined the two clauses together, thereby forcing the second clause to depend on the first clause, making it to be subordinate to the first clause. That is also why it is called subordinating conjunction. You can see it in this very one, the third example, the fifth one, and the fifth one. But in the fourth one and the fifth one, you can see that the conjunction is not placed in the middle. So, because it always controlled the element that it is placed before, the clause that is placed before, it can move the clause. It can move it to the first sentence. It can begin the sentence. Yes, because it's controlling it. Here we can say, if you want me to come, I shall visit you. If you want me to come, I shall visit you. So, because it is controlling this other clause, it can move it to begin the sentence. Whenever the VC is around, the lecturer goes to school. See, it's just the same thing, but it is a conjunction. It is joining the first clause and the second clause. Whether it's beginning and bringing the second clause to begin the sentence or not, any place it finds itself is still a conjunction because it's joining two clauses together. Note that it is the subordinating conjunction that will force the clause closer to it to depend on the other. We have said it. Note that sometimes the subordinating conjunction can be placed at the beginning of the sentence and not necessarily at the middle of the sentence. We said it, not necessarily at the middle. Correlative conjunction. These are conjunctions that are used in pairs. They are used in pairs, unlike the first two conjunctions we have discussed. This one we use two conjunctions, which originally we can even use one separately, but we use two now with simple coordinating conjunction. They are used in place of the simple coordinating conjunction and are more emphatic than the coordinating of simple conjunction. They are placed immediately before the word they connect. Look at them, we can use them separately, but once we use them in pair, they become correlative. If we use them separately, this one becomes what? Coordinating. But now we are talking about using them in pairs. See it? To join two or more elements together, especially two elements of equal rank. Look at the example. The male student, the female students. So we are looking onto the male students is honest. The female students is honest. But we are using two conjunctions in one sentence and joining either two clauses or two phrases. Here we have two clauses. The male student is here, the female student is here. The only difference is that the conjunction we are using has made us to choose one out of the two alternatives, and that is why we have either the male student or the female student is honest. Our major concern in this discussion is the conjunction, the pair we use to join two clauses together. But when we begin to talk about, although we have already discussed about concord, you will see that is one of the examples of concord. It will now show the one that is nearer to, among others. Both Owen and Okam, both would always show addiction to both Owen and Okam are intelligent. We use both joining Owen and Okam, both and just like Owen and Okam are intelligent. Now we are using the pair, both Owen and Okam. Our concern is pair. When we are using it in pair, it becomes correlative, not when we are using a single, which is coordinating. Among other examples here. The next one is determiner, and I think this is the last topic or the last item for today's topic. And when we're discussing pronoun, we make so much emphasis on determiners. When we were discussing last week adjective, we make so much emphasis on determiners. We emphasized that, or we stated that determiners and adjectives are two different things. That although earlier traditional grammarians or classical grammarian does not or did not differentiate determiners and noun, in as much as they modify noun, they are placed before noun. They call all of them adjective. They don't differentiate adjective and determiner. We since in as much as they play before now, they are adjective. What it means is that classical grammarians never have anything determiner. They do not treat anything determiner. The author-speech determiner does not exist in classical grammarian. But in structural grammarian, they begin to differentiate determiners and noun. And one of such differentiation is that although this word is modifying a noun, which is the determiner, but is it derived? Can it derive? It's just like adjective can derive. Can it derive? Although this word I'm modifying a noun, can it place after the noun? Because adjective can place after the noun. So these are at the end of this very item, we shall see the difference or differences between determiners and adjectives. We also meet so many differences between pronouns and especially demonstrative pronouns are similar to determiners and also possessive pronouns similar to determiners. And now let's begin the determiner, the discussion of determiner proper. Determiners are words used to introduce or classify nouns, providing more information, example, quantity of the nouns. We use determiners also to indicate the nouns that are being referred to in the sentence. Yeah. They are usually placed before the noun, not after. Take note, because adjective can be placed both before the noun and after the nouns. But determiners will only be placed before attributive determiner. Attributive, not after. They can be post-modifying, giving the readers or listeners more information about the noun. Example, the girl has gone to school. Although is modifying the noun here, is a determiner, not adjective. It's a determiner, not adjective. The reason is that why it is not adjective is that D cannot be derived. Adjective can be derived, like beautiful here is an adjective. It can be derived. We derive beautiful from what? Noun. We derive this adjective from noun, beauty. And we can also derive another word class, beautifully, that's adverb from adjective. But we cannot do same to determiners. So determiners cannot be derived. So, and that's why structural grammarians have to make the difference clear. So D here is a determiner, not an adjective. Take note of that. Although it's modifying, it's telling us specifically the type of girls we are talking about. Girl has gone to school. The specific girl we're talking about has gone to school. Modifying that girl, but it is not an adjective. Now, a beautiful girl has gone to school. In this case, we have determiner and we have adjective. We have determiner and adjective. When we begin to make difference between determiner and adjective, we will say that when determiner and adjective co-occur together to modify the noun, that the determiner will come first, the adjective will be placed closer to the noun. So it will be wrong to say beautiful a girl, rather a beautiful girl. But our major concern here is determiners. Some words that although they are modifying nouns, but they are not classified as adjectives, but they are indicating, placing before noun, telling us the type of noun we are talking about. The determiner D immediately precedes the noun here. The determiner A precedes the adjective beautiful, which in turn places closer to the noun here. That's what we have just said. Classification of determinants according to types. We have classification of determinants according to type and according to function, but we will not dwell on classification of determinant according to function, where we have predeterminant, codeterminant, and postdeterminant. We shall not discuss that for the purpose of this class. We will only limit ourselves to according to type, and here we have article determinants, demonstrative determinants, possessive determinants, and quantifier determinants. Article determinants. These are most common type of determinants in English. There are 3 in number. 2 are indefinite article, that is A and while 1 is definite article. All of them are used to identify the noun which the speaker is referring to. Yeah? If the noun or any other word begins with a consonant sound, if the word begins with the noun or any other word begins with a consonant sound, A is selected. So A, look at this consonant sound. It will be wrong for us to say and man, because the letter here or the sound here is a consonant. Sound. Sound. A man is here. But if the noun begins with the vowel sound, is used. Now, always look at the vowel sound. You forget about that the words begin with letter H. Our concern is on the sounds, not the letters. Look at it. Look at the definition that we have said earlier, what we define about determinants. Okay, what we said here. All of them are used to identify nouns. Okay. If the nouns or any other words begin with the consonant sound, we're talking about consonant sounds, not letters. So in this case, honest, the transcription of honest, the pronunciation of honest begin with O. That's why we have an honest man who fit the job. So an will be selected before the vowel. A will be selected before the consonant. But D will go for both the vowel and the consonant, both consonant and vowel sounds. Demonstrative determinants. These are types of determinants that are used in situations where the speaker can point to the item he is talking about. Remember, we explained demonstrative pronouns earlier. Pointing is the same thing here, but in this case, it is placed before a noun. But in pronoun, it is not placed before a noun. That of pronoun will eliminate the noun completely. Take note of that. They can equally function as pronouns depending on the position in which they are used. Yeah, I've said it. Depending. If they are not placed before the noun, they are pronoun. But if they are placed before the noun, they are not pronoun, they are determinants. Like the pronouns, they are classified into 2 broad types. Those that are referring to objects that are nearer, example this, and father. The other one that I refer to father, example that, those. We have it almost the same explanation with that of possessive pronouns. The only difference is that it is placed before a noun. Possessive pronoun would eliminate the noun completely. In terms of this and that, singular is the same thing without the possessive pronoun. This and those will be not the same thing. This and this, yeah, nearness. This and that and those, father, it's not the same thing without possessive pronoun. The only difference between possessive pronoun and determinant is what we term as that nominal and attributive possessive. Nominal and attributive possessive. When we say nominal possessive, function completely as possessive pronoun. Why attributive function as determinant? So that attributive, this is where we are now discussing. See, this mango is bad, but if it is possessive pronoun, it will be this is bad. But since it is an adjective, it's modifying a noun, mango, and it's functioning as what speaker is pointing to one angle closer to it. So this is pointing, remember, demonstrative is pointing at the object or the person or the place. Take note of that. We can see it here. This politician, our interest is modifying if it is possessive pronoun that would completely delete the noun. It would be these are correct. But the terminal would always modify place before the noun. Look that table and those boys. We equally have a possessive determiner, just like the possessive pronoun, possessive determiner. What we have seen all in possessive pronoun is the same thing here. The adjective possessive pronouns are what we are discussing here. There are no difference. They are placed before the noun. This possessive, this one that shows one adjective are placed before the noun. While that of the pronoun, they are not placed before the noun. They delete the noun completely. Look at it now. See example. My boy is, my book is on the table. But if it is possessive pronoun, it will be mine is on the table. Mine is on the table. Deleting the book completely. But in determiner, there is always a noun. My book, look at the noun. Your brother, look at the noun. Our friends, look at the noun. His mother, look at the noun. Our headmaster, look at the noun. Their farms, its legs, whose biro. There must always be an existence of a noun. Quantifier determinants. These are determinants that tells how much or how little or what quantity or proportion of the noun is being referred to or discussed about. It shows the quantity, the proportion, the number. Here, they are divided into number quantifiers and indefinite quantifiers. The number we have 1, 2, 3, 4, first, second, third, and indefinite. We have many, few, some, etc. Quantifier determinants. Consider the following examples. One man, noun, one, is functioning as what? Determiner, not as an adjective, because we cannot derive, we cannot add any affixes to it. Many men, we cannot add. So all of them are just placed before the noun. The only difference between this and adjective is that we cannot, if it's an adjective, we can't derive. We can add affixes upon affixes onto it, but these determinants we cannot. Our emphasis mostly is that it's placed or they are placed before the noun, they are modified. Just like adjective, placing before the noun, they are modified. But they function as determinant because they have a certain role they play. Remember I said article camera will classify it as adjective. Structural grammar will classify as determinant because of what I've been emphasizing. And for us, we have made a different error too. They are classified as determinant, not adjective, because of the fact that they can't add this whatever. And you can join them, we can use them together with adjective. And once we use them together with adjective, remember that it will come first. The adjective will come next, closer to the noun they are modifying. Differences between determinants and adjectives. Now we have already said much, so this is the time for us to see the difference. Adjective can be placed before the nouns, they modified. Adjective. When they are placed before the noun, they modify, we call them adjective. Or after the nouns, they modified, we call them post-modifying adjective. But the determinants are only placed before the nouns. They are not placed after. We said it earlier, and we are repeating. That's one difference between adjective and determinant. Number two, in a situation where adjectives and determinants are used to add extra information about the noun in the sentence. Adjectives are placed closer to the noun, while determinants precede the adjective. So we are using two of them now together. This is the noun. So adjectives are placed closer to the noun, while the determiner the determiner will precede the adjective. So the beautiful candle are on the table. So it will be wrong to say beautiful. Okay, 3 beautiful candles are on the table. It will be wrong to say beautiful 3 candles. The order is not. Whenever there is an existence of a determiner and adjective, determiner comes first, adjective followed, and adjective is placed closer to the noun. Number 3, most adjectives can be derived from other parts of speech. Derivation, very important. Look at it now. Nature is a noun. Nature is adjective. So we can derive adjective from a noun. Example, nature, natural. Or other part of speech can be derived from adjectives. Yeah, careful, adjective, carefully, adverb. And can be inflected. We have always said it. Adjective can be inflected either word, comparatively, example, be bigger, or superlatively, example, biggest. But determinants, like other close class systems, cannot be derived or inflected. We said it here so many times. That is another good example of it. And the next is, it is possible to remove adjectives in the sentence, but it is not possible to remove determiner. So when adjective and determiner co-occur together to modify the noun, it is possible to remove the adjective, but not possible to remove the noun, the determiner. The determiner always, especially going before the common noun, there must be the existence of the determiner. But adjective can be an optional. Look at the first example, the old driver has traveled. It will be wrong for us to remove the determiner. If we say old driver has traveled without the determiner, the sentence is not complete, because in the situation where determiners and adjective co-occur to modify the noun, the determiner is a must, especially when the noun is a common noun. Look at it now, this sentence, the second one is correct. The driver has traveled, even without the existence of an adjective. And the next is exercises. When you go home, you try as much as possible to do these exercises. There are many 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There are 7 exercises. And you will need to submit it. To inform others who are not here, you need to submit this exercise. The carried mark submitted by 3rd week of this month. 3rd week of this month, giving you 3 weeks. The first one is identify the minor part of speech in the following sentences. This is the first sentence, and this is the second sentence. So the duty is to identify the minor part of speech that are used here and the minor part of speech that are used here. All I need is bring them out. Just bring them out. In 1A, you bring the minor part of speech. In 1B, you bring the minor part of speech. I want to know if really you know what we have discussed. Number 2, with 2 sentence example for each. With 2 sentence example for each one, we are giving 2 sentence example. Differentiate between possessive pronoun and possessive adjective. Yeah, possessive pronoun and possessive adjective. You have to differentiate between possessive pronoun. You mention possessive pronoun, what makes a possessive pronoun and possessive adjective. When you discuss it, possessive pronoun, you give 2 sentence example. When you discuss possessive adjective, you give 2 sentence example. Let us see the difference. Number 3, with 2 sentence example for each. The same thing here. Provide 3 instances where the determinants are different from the adjectives. So in each of the 3 examples you are providing, provide 2 sentence examples for each where the determinants are different from adjectives. And number 4 exercise is indicate whether the following underlying determinants are article, demonstrative, possessive, or quantifiers determinants. We have talked about them. We have talked about the article determiner, demonstrative determiner, possessive determiner, or quantifier determiner. Now, in the following sentences, the underlying word indicate whether is it article determiner, is it the article determiner, is it the accusative? Is this the possessive? Is it qualified? That's what I want. You have to list it. So I will give you the orange. D is what type of determinant is used here. Some oranges are in the basket. What type of determinant is used here? Then the next one is construct two sentences with the following conjunctions. So use these conjunctions here now and construct two sentences each. So use and construct two sentences. Use but construct two sentences. Use or let me see two sentences that contain the conjunctions. And the next one is indicate whether, by number 6, whether the following underlined words are preposition or adverb. Remember we talk about functional adjectives. A particular word may be used as what? One part of speech, and depending on the position. Now we are looking at before. So in these two sentences, indicate whether before in sentence 1 is what? Preposition or adverb, and before in sentence 2 is preposition or adverb. The meeting started before 10 a.m. Mary has gone to Abuja before. So what I need here in this space is either you write preposition here or you write adverb here, or preposition here or adverb here. And the last one is indicate the grammatical function of the following underlined pronouns. Remember that we said that pronouns performs every functions of a noun. So go and study the functions of a noun and look at the pronoun used to substitute in nouns. And that function that the noun performs is the same thing here. So they cook the rice themselves. Themselves is functioning as what? What is the function of themselves here? He selected them to represent. What is the function of them? Is a pronoun. What is the function of this pronoun? The driver herself has done something wrong. What is the function of herself here? It's like rice. It like rice every day. Just like if we say the goat likes rice every day, we use it to replace. So what is the function of this it in the sentence? The girl likes it. It's like the girl likes rice. The girl likes tea. It, what is the function of it in the sentence? We decided for him what to do. What is the function of him in the sentence? I think we can call it today. Thank you very much for listening. Our next lecture is on the sentence, and by the grace of God, that will be a physical lecture. And welcome you back when we meet. Thank you very much. Once again, we are meeting Dr. Edadi.